last episode was Australia, and now we're moving on to, Australian states. Okay. Don't think I'm going to have much. Definitely got some stuff. So the first ones are in these stock cards. It appears that they are from different places. This is South Wales, so this is an Australian state, and pretty old one. And we have a very similar one that has an overprint with OS. It also has an interesting cancel, kind of looks like sun rays or something like that. And next, I have this guy from Tasmania, the home of the devil, huh? And this is, I don't want to say an obliterator, but it's some kind of bar cancel. And you can clearly see Tasmania, so that's pretty cool. I like that stamp. Nice cancel. And this is Queensland. You know, come to think of it, in the last episode, I know I had a Queensland stamp, so that means I missorted that stamp. It should have been in the Australian states section. Oh well. So that was the stock cards. All I've got left is just a single album page for Tasmania. And it's got one here, it says 1892 to 1911. So these are, this looks like some kind of scenic view, tree, maybe a river and a mountain, something like that. This one's also pretty similar. Matter of fact, it is the same stamp as I look at it. Very cool cancel. Deloraine, I'm guessing. Delorame, maybe? Delorame. Tasmania. 19th of February, it must be 1907. Yeah. I will say it's a little more yellowed than this one. But otherwise, I guess, and the color's a little deeper red. But otherwise it looks exactly the same. I don't know if they're different shades or what, but then we have the final ones from Tasmania. It says Hobart down at the bottom. This one has a, I'm not sure what that says, that cancel. But I think it says May 2nd, 05. And this other one, which these are obviously the same stamp as well, this other one has a cancel on it. Tasmania, so yeah. Hey, not a whole lot of stuff, but a little bit, and so that was what I have from the Australian states. Alrighty, next, Austria. Okay, I can tell from the bulge that there's stuff in here. Alrighty. Looks like a butt ton of glassines and stock cards, so I am not going to go as in depth as the last video. I'm just going to kind of breeze through, and we're just going to look at these things. If they're identified, great. If not, that's okay, unless I find something that I want to identify. So yeah, let's take a look. There's actually quite a bit of stuff here. Okay, first up, this is number 42 from 1883. It's from Austria, of course. Now, man, the design is just really hard to make out on this. It is just so faded. This thing's kind of beat up. And I'm guessing the cancel is 89. So, oh, God. This came from that one little book that I had where the guy hinged everything with these little strips. I hate that he did that. God, look how horrible that looks. Okay, so this is number 52. It's light brown from 1890 to 96. It's only worth 30 cents. Alright, number 54 from 1890 to 96. Only worth 30 cents. Rose color. Alright, number 27, 1867 to 72. It says worth $3. I also note that it's supposed to be yellow, but it looks brown. with a question mark? I would agree. It's definitely got some brown going on, so not maybe 100% sure on that, but I did formally attempt to identify it and came up with number 27. Pretty nice light cancel on there. So here I found a stock card, just got 3 random stamps in here. I'm pretty sure none of these are really worth much, and I know I've looked this guy up before. I know this is pretty minimal catalog stuff. So this is quite an old Austrian stamp, 1874 to 76. It's got our buddy Mercury. This is actually number P9B, and it's violet. It's a type 3. It's worth 40 cents. 16,590, maybe 3 even. I'm not sure about that, because so if this is like the 16th of May 1893, but this is from 74 to 76, so I don't know. Not 100% if that's about that cancel, but cool old stamp. Alrighty, this is number 41 from 1883. It's the coat of arms. It's brown. It's worth 45 cents. And there is that unfortunate crap on the back, even a little hair. Alrighty, yay. Okay, a few in a stock card. We saw that one earlier, I think, and this is nothing too special either. I know I've looked these up in the past. This one I find intriguing. Now, this one definitely is older. It's got the portrait, and it just looks older for one thing. I think I'm going to look this up just for fun, so let's see what that one is. Okay, so that wasn't horrible to figure out. There's a couple of differences with this one. Was either fine or coarse print. Well, I just hopped right on Google into a forum and was able to determine that this is a fine print based on how dark and detailed the beard is and the leaves in his hair. Also, I learned this is a stamp of, Emperor Franz Joseph. So, anyways, yeah, number 35 from 1876, only worth 90 cents in the catalog. So next is this little glass scene with a few stamps. Interestingly, it actually has a value of $27 written on the back. I have no idea if that's valid or not. These look immediately to be semi-postal stamps. Okie dokie. So, these are semi-postal stamps. This one I just learned is a prisoner of war. Boy, he looks sad. So anyways, these are from 1947. They're only worth $1.50, so I don't know what this $27 tag on there is. That's total baloney. They're worth $1.50 whether they're mint or used. And this is a complete set, 218 to 223. These ones appear to be mint, never hinged. They're in great shape. But yeah, no real difference in cat price being used or mint. Alright, we've got number 208, worth 25 cents from 1919 to 1920. This next one says B306 to 13, so this is semi-postals. They look to have some kind of similar-ish designs, but not going to pop them all out, but that's what's going on there. So this next glass scene just has a bunch of stamps. Let me lay them out real quick. Alrighty, so I laid them all out. Nice little variety. Some in perforate, most are not. Some are older than others for sure. And I don't think any of this has any real value. Of course, when I first started out, when I learned about imperforates being older, I go, oh, well, let me check this. Let me check that. Well, newsflash, these Austria stamps ain't worth much, but they're still neat to look at. Some different cancels and stuff. So, little glass scene full of some random stamps here. Okay, so the next glass scene had a whole bunch of these. And this is little, I guess, dealer cards that have different sets. So this is B71 to 75. Looks like some more semi-postals. 1920 set. The Nibelungen set, if I said that right. From Royal Stamp Company in Pennsylvania. So these are obviously hinged, and they look mint hinged. So next one, yeah, move this to the side. Sorry. Okay, B152 to 5. So these are all looking like semi-postals. Just a whole bunch of these Austrian semi-postal sets here. Nazi victims in Luxembourg. Wow. Jeez. Those goddamn Nazis. Tell you what. They got everything they deserved, didn't they? Okay, so some more semi-postals. That one came loose. This looks like the same exact stamps. So I've got a couple of that. This one is pretty loaded up. Wow, what a shame. They're totally stuck to each other. Ugh. Garbage. It's like one big index card now. Well, that's lame. Bummer. Okay, this, another one from Pennsylvania, 1937 Winter Help issue. Be 152 to 4. These are nice, and it even tells you it's nurse and infant, mother and child. Nursing the aged. This is the same thing. I've got a multiple set. Boom. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, there's a glitch in the Matrix. I have a whole bunch of this. So, same set over and over again. Total side note, Neo in the Matrix is John Connor. And the Matrix is the machines that rose up and took over the world. Isn't that crazy? I never ever connected the dots. I just had to share that little random tidbit. What the heck? The Matrix and the Terminator are the same story? Oh my god. Okay, so another stock card has some random semi-postals. Looks like B208 to 17, worth a few bucks. I'm not going to pop them out. And a stock card with just some random stuff. That one actually looks pretty old. It's got that postal horn on there. Another stamp there. Okay, this is a nice little set of houses. Let's take a little look at these. Bunch of different scenic portrayals here of places in Austria. Okay, this is Austria B349, so another semi-postal. Looks like 1984. It says, somebody wrote, very fine, never hinged. I would agree, that thing looks pretty good to me. And I said it's worth about 60 cents net. Oh, Ready Header sells a little stock card full of some randomness here. There's a little pair of these. And looks incredibly similar to the ones that we just looked at. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Another stock card just had 3 random coat of arms stamps. Yet another coat of arms. This is number 43 from 1883. It says perfs are 10.5. It's rose color, worth 30 cents. It's used. I can already tell you from that stupid little piece of paper slipping off the back, it's got, oh yeah, just horrible hinges. God, painful. Alright, so this is number 45, pretty close to the last. 1883, it's gray. This one says it's worth $4.25 used. Now, the weird thing about this one, as I was looking at it, it's definitely on paper still, and it's canceled, so it's used, but when you flip it over, wouldn't you know it, there's another one that's also used with just one of those horrific hinges on it. What? I still want to have words with the guy who hinged these stamps like this. Another random stamp. Says on the envelope it's worth 50 cents. This actually has a really nice cancel. It's almost there in its complete entirety, but looks like 89. 21st of December 89. And Wien was canceled. This is number 4, so pretty early Austrian stamp. This is actually the offices in the Turkish Empire. From 1867, it's blue, it's used, has a cat value of about $2.40. A pretty cool looking stamp, I like it. It unfortunately has the horrific hinges on the back, but otherwise, cool stamp. Alright, this glassine has number 36. From 1874 to 80, the perfs are 9.5. It's used, it's rose color, type 3. And this is part of the issues for Austria print. That's what I wrote on my envelope. It's only worth 25 cents. All of these, unfortunately, all came from the same album where the guy hinged them in with this crappy paper. So they're pretty much garbage as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, I decided to keep them because whatever. Okay, random stock card with the, we've seen this many times. That gentleman. We got one more here, unidentified, just another Stamp 5 Cruiser. Village, I don't know the full word, but Villa something. And next we have another glassine, number 286. So, a couple of stamps. So none of these have really blown me away so far, and I'm pretty unhappy with how a lot of them have been hinged. But finally, a stock card with some kind of interesting looking stuff in here, guys. So, I mean, yeah, immediately, I mean, these are really old looking. This one actually has some script on the bottom. It was still canceled, but they did write their name, it looks like. This one has a faint purple cancel. It's pretty cool. 1898. I did make a note that was pointing to this one, and it says it's a postage due. 1 chrome. Now, these are just cool. I mean, they're definitely older looking. You can kind of see it was ripped out of some parcel. This one double hinged somewhere at some point. Fairly big stamps, and they're pretty neat to look at. They came in this glassine, and the reason I saved it, you can probably tell. I mean, what the heck? Snakeskin? I just thought that was crazy. I have never seen a glassine that had a snakeskin design. Still kind of surprises me. I don't quite get it. I don't think it's actually snakeskin, but wow. This is the only time I've ever seen a glassine that looked like that, and it is a definite reptilian skin design. So thought that was cool. Decided to keep it for that fact alone. I'm not going to bother looking them up, but if you guys happen to know anything about these and you think that they're anything special, let me know. Got an old Mercury stamp, like a 10 center. So this other stock card just had some different stamps. So this last stock card just had a bunch of duplicates. And just one random stamp here. And some more of the 3 that we just looked at just a moment ago. So, little tiny glassine, pretty packed with this stamp over and over again. Yeah, they appear to be CTOs because they are still gummed and they're canceled, so that's interesting. There's pretty much no sign of usage. Yeah, I've got these kind of vertical pairs over and over again, a whole stack of them. Looks like there is one oddball in there. I thought they were all the same, but one oddball in there. So I got a really old one. At least it looks really old. Somebody wrote N27, maybe NP1 through 4. The stamps look old. And I can remember from looking things like this up in the past that I think the KUK is some kind of military indicator. And these ones are definitely overprints with different values. So pretty interesting. That was my stomach. So these ones are definitely a little bit different than what I'm used to from Austria, especially these ones. I don't know if I've ever seen these. They are tiny little stamps, a little horizontal pair. It's kind of cool. There's even some writing through the perfs. So I actually like that. That's kind of cool. And then, you know, this is a Mercury stamp over and over with different surcharges on there. And this is or overprints, sorry. And this is just one little lone portrait of a gentleman. So, wow, that was a heck of a stack of glassines and stuff. Definitely not blown away by the condition of these stamps. Unfortunately, a lot of these ones that I got out of the same book were mounted in a horrible fashion, so or hinged in a horrible fashion, so they're kind of garbage. But this is just a big old stack of Austria that I've accrued. So let's move on to the next thing in this folder, which will be this big old stock card or stock page. So I don't know if I'm really going to bother identifying any of these, but we'll take a little looky-loo at some of them. Some of these have potential. Oh, that one's pretty old looking. Probably the coat of arms, I'm guessing. None of this stuff is anything crazy to me. Snowy landscape. Huh, definitely didn't see this one before. Little birds, crows, huh? Deutsch, Austria. That one's kind of cool. Big, old, ornate stamp. 2 Kronen. This one's an old imperforate. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And it was a pretty crappy cut job because they got a little bit of the other stamp in there. Wow, you can see the whole cancel. Haida? This one's actually kind of cool. I like this. Imperforate old stamp. I'll keep it in there, but that might end up in my worldwide album. So yeah, just a whole bunch of different stuff on here. I'm not really sure. Not really sure about any of these. They don't look to be in horrible condition. They're all pretty much used. There's just a whole bunch of different stuff on here. Pretty common. Somebody wrote this is worth 124 bucks. I don't know. This has an intriguing cancel. It must be some kind of slogan cancel. Of course, I have no idea what it says. But that's kind of neat. Tell ya, nothing that knocks my socks off. All of these are. I've learned Austrian stamps generally ain't worth much. At least these regular issues, they are pretty common, and yeah, so not a bad page. Pretty good array of stamps in there. So found a few things. This looks like duplicates of number 543 used. Nothing crazy. A little stock card here with some stuff. The one in the stock card that I actually do like, well, I like both of these because this is a pretty good cancel on this guy. Almost suck on the nose. And then this other one is actually kind of cool. That one's been practically obliterated, but it's pretty old and perforate. Austrian stamp there. And I have a little glassine full of just more of these kind of regular issue Austrian stamps. Nothing really crazy. So that one actually looks kind of cool. Look at that. Big old stamp, cool design. Some kind of interesting cancel. Can't quite make out the cancel, but And so that brings me to this guy, which I actually like this. I kind of remember this. This is a nice little stamp from the offices in Turkey, and I thought this thing had a really nice cancel. Somebody was intelligent enough to cut off extra paper to see the whole cancel, and what would you say, 95 maybe? I don't know. Austria Post, Jerusalem. I just think it's actually a pretty decent little stamp there. They say it's number 32. That's nice. Nice. Well, that's good. 80-cent cat value. So I have this big old stock card here, I guess, whatever. 455 to 477 with a light hinge. Top four value missing, maybe. Says it's worth like $6.70. So they should all be lightly hinged. Yeah, there's a hinge on there. So this is, I guess, almost nearly a complete set. Pretty neat. Lots of different scenic visuals. Kind of intrigued about this one right here. There's some guy. Almost looks like Jesus or something. Weird. There's a nice little pane here of Austria stuff. I have right here next to it an incredibly similar kind of setup, and I will say I do see some duplicates, so these are probably the same. Let's see, different. These are probably the same. Weird, $25. I wonder if it's 25 of their currency, because I know for a fact this ain't worth no 25 American dollars. At least I don't know for a fact, but I really don't think so. Alright, so this is the final piece of Austria that I have. A big old sous sheet, and it's actually a pretty big sous sheet. 1000 tar Austric. I don't know. I don't speak that language. I don't speak it, but very clean looking sheet. Looks pretty much mint to me. Some different shield emblems here. Looks like it's from '76. And yeah, besides like these little tiny baby, I don't even know if you can see the little tiny creases, like little paper imperfections there, but otherwise it would have been perfectly mint. There's a little bit more going on down here. You know, maybe you guys can chime in. How would you describe these? Like these little bends in the paper. I mean, it's like from handling it in the past or something. I mean, it's not. I don't know if I call it a crease. Nobody folded it over, but I kind of go back and forth in my mind with the terminology that I would call this. I call it like a light crease, but it's pretty minor. But you can tell there's those little imperfections in the paper. It's just not perfect, you know. So whatever. That was it for Austria. All right, next, Bahamas. All right, a little bit of stuff. So first up, 2 random stamps. This one is pooed upon. It has some smudges all over it, so that's definitely stained. This one's in poor shape. We have a used Bahama 3 pence. A little goober on that as well. So, little stack of different Bahamas stamps. I will say, I always liked the color that they employ on these stamps because they're just pretty. Appropriately so. The Bahamas is a beautiful place, and you know, they should have some good looking, colorful stamps to reflect the beauty of that place. These are, let's see, these are all used, it looks like, and pretty common issues. I don't think anything special here. That's a sock on the nose, that guy. What does it say? Nassau, Bahamas, 55. I haven't been to Nassau, but I've heard good things. This one seems to be an Olympic stamp. I've got, these are all the same, these four, so I'll show you maybe this one, so you can see the clearest image. New Constitution 1964 overprint on those, so these are actually not all the same. And we got one here, 46. That one's damaged. And we got one little guy with the Queen. Postal Centenary 1959. A little stack of stamps. These are pretty cool. I'll show them to you one at a time. Actually, I like this one. International Women's Year. Christmas 77. What does it say? Breadfruit. Straw market. A grouper. That doesn't look like any grouper I've ever seen, and I am a scuba diver, guys. And I've been in the sea next to some groupers, and oh my god, those fish, groupers get so big. They're like a Volkswagen Beetle swimming past you. It's really, really weird. Bahamas, that's cool. Yeah, I heard from scuba diving, one of the worst places you could ever be is wreck diving, like in a sunken ship and in a corridor in a ship or something. If one of these big groupers, because they get thousands of pounds, if a big grouper tries to swim past you in a corridor, he'll smash you like a bug. And it'll be the last thing you ever saw was big giant fish swimming towards you. So I've learned to respect groupers when you're under the sea because man, they are big, powerful fish. And it is one thing to watch them on like Nat Geo, but when you're floating in the water right next to one, you realize just what a little peanut you are compared to those fish. They're big and strong. So this next glass scene looks like Universal Postal Union issue number 150 to 153, 1949, complete set, 535 cat. Let's take a look. Cool. So yeah, Universal Postal Union, Bahamas. These are nice. I like these. 1949. All of these are 1949 actually. You know, I wanted to ask too, just a side note, see how it has a slight curvature? I keep running across this with a lot of stamps, right? I mean, let's say, well, this one might have been hinged, and I'm not sure, it kind of looks like it, maybe not. But what do you guys think about the curvature of these? Let's say this stamp was not hinged and perfect gum, perfect perfs, you know, no flaws, anything, but it has this curvature. would you still consider it mint never hinged? I go back and forth on that because it's like, well, there's nothing wrong with the stamp. It just kind of curled as if it were just natural from like humidity in the air and maybe the gum they used. I mean, who knows? I see an awful lot of older stamps. See, like this one kind of sits on the corners. It's just got a curvature to it. When I go to sell these, I always go back and forth. I'm like, oh my god, like there's nothing wrong with it, but it isn't sitting perfectly flat. In my mind, a mint, an absolute gem, would sit perfectly flat. Otherwise, I mean, maybe it's still considered mint never hinged. You know, if it has a curvature, like that one's obviously not. But let's pretend and say it was. Would a curvature alone, which seems like almost kind of a natural curvature, would that knock it out of mint never hinged condition in your mind? What do you think? I'm just curious. So this next glassine had, looks like numbers 416 through 419, 420 to 23, and then it's also got 616, 618, and 618A. It looks like I actually, whenever I put a check mark, that means I did verify the price. I came up with $19 for number 618A. It says there's two of them. Well, I can guarantee there's two of these, so this must be 618A. It's the high denomination $10 Bahamas stamp, and I do have two of them, so I guess these are worth $19. I don't know if that's per stamp or what, but that's your high denomination there. This must be 618, which says about 775, and then this is probably 616 at about $7. So all these actually have pretty good cat value, these fish. 416 through 19, I'm not sure which ones are which, but let's just go through and look at them one by one. Government House. St. Matthew's Church. This is Nassau, the Public Library. What was this? This was the Hermitage, Cat Island. Okay. So we got some Christmas stamps. Looks like a set of 4 here. I think we saw this one earlier. So that was that glassine. The final Bahamas thing that I have is this sushi. Definitely wants to curl on me. I mean, what the heck is that? Kind of similar to what I was talking about earlier. Improper storage. I mean, what the heck? Why does this happen to so many stamps? What is this? You go to put it in a, an album. I mean, you put it in a mount or something, it's going to lay perfectly flat, but on its own, it's very springy. This thing pretty much looks mint never hinged, and it is commemorating the International Year of the Child. Leapfrog. That's cool, I like it. So that does it. Really appreciate you guys watching. I hope that you enjoyed checking out these stamps. They are cool to look at, and yeah, we'll just keep on going. I will catch you guys on the next episode, which will be episode 5, and we will continue on. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos, guys. I appreciate the support. Hope you all take care. Be well. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.